Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another BTNeanderthal build guide. Today we're going to be covering the Freezing Arrow Amazon. As you can see here, we have the Freezing Arrow, and basically what we do here is we just max out our Freezing Arrow and its synergies, which are Ice Arrow and Cold Arrow. As far as skill points go in the passives, we have 1 point to everything except for evade. Evade is like our dump skill. Like for example, like we just, any extra points, I'm just putting this in to evade for the extra movement speed bonus. We put 20 points into Immolation Arrow for cold immunes, and that takes care of them. So that's pretty much the skill tree, and then you just want to make sure you have 100% pierce throughout the gear that you have and the skills. So make sure you have 100% pierce. Now let's do a little bit of a showcase. Get in here, that's the skill tree of what we're working with. But the Freezing Arrow Amazon is actually really strong. It's got like pretty good damage output, and the crowd control that you have on it is very strong. There's a few different ways to actually build this Amazon too. Is like, one, you could actually go the route of Mavina's set, which is pretty common. Like you could do that. It's very strong that way as well. Or the way that I actually prefer to build it, which is using like Ice Bow and all that other good stuff. But as you can see here, we're just like absolutely shredding. And my resistances are actually not good either. But that's the thing with the crowd control. It's like, yes, you can die pretty easily. With the way I'm playing, like you don't have to play as offensive or glass cannon focused as I am. But with the crowd control you have from the Freezing Arrow, it's just super strong. So we have Ice Bow, Nightwing's Veil, just +3 crossbow and skills, could get +4 there. We have Mavina's Embrace, which is an armor. Basically, you just want to get +3 skills on the armor, however you're going to get that. Whether it's Mavs, whether it's Arcanes, Kahegans, whatever. Another option might be like Chains of Honor, maybe. Those are things. As well as we have 220 gloves with lightning resist and MF. So the MF 220s is really good. We got Ravenfrost for the cannot be frozen. And we got a Mavina's, 2-piece Mavina's. This again gives us 30 fast run walk. And these are slammed with MF on them. And we just try to get whatever ring we can find, whether it's res, MF, something like that. And then we have Silkweaves for mana sustain. You can also just not use Silkweaves and use something else, but mana sustain is very nice, unless you like to drink a lot of mana potions. You could also use jewels in another piece of gear or something like that. This gear isn't the best gear you could have. There's definitely improvements. Like you get 3-socket Nightwings or 1-skill 2-socket Nightwings. But that's like the biggest thing there. And then my arrows currently are actually 40% chance to pierce because they had pierce chance, and then we slammed pierce chance, giving us 40%, which is why on the skill tree we only have 1 point into pierce, because that gives us a full 100% plus. As you can see here, 109%. As far as breakpoints, I believe one off the top, or one off perfect breakpoint on IES, but the last one isn't that worth without fanaticism, and I don't really want to play with fanaticism. There's a couple different mercenaries. Talking about the mercenary now, I guess, after we go over the skills. So basically just, you know, bow skillers, Geeds, Torch Annie, 7MF small charms. These could be all res charms or life charms if you want to tank up more. That's also another option. On swap we have Vigor for, you know, movement speed bonus. That's like really nice. And then fast run walk arrows. Now talking about the mercenary, something that I've found, I've played with like Pus Spitter Act 1 mercenary with Vigor aura. I've played with also this Infinity mercenary Act 2. While Pus Spitter actually isn't that bad, Infinity is much more consistent overall, just because it's giving you that aura and it's just happening all the time. So Infinity is definitely better over that. And then I just got stuff to keep him alive. And that's pretty much all you need. So, and then the attributes are just enough points in the strength and dex to wear your gear, and the rest in the vitality. So this build has been, it's been a lot of fun. I've enjoyed it. I've actually, the first time I didn't start as a Sork this ladder, like I just started off playing as On. And the starter options are very nice. You can use Wizen Draw, which is what I used, or you can use Melody, which is another rune word bow that gives you +3 to bow and crossbow skill, or bow and crossbow skills. And then if you get like a matriarchal bow or something like that with bow and crossbow skills on it already, you can get +6 to bow and crossbow skills. You really care about the plus to skills in this build. Think of this more as like a caster rather than like a bow build where you care about AR and stuff. Now AR can matter on this build. We have like freezing arrow, and I use like immolation arrow, like I said, for cold immunes. There's also ice arrow, which does a lot of damage, as you can see, 14k. But the problem is with ice arrow, and I actually don't use it, is that it has attack rating. And like the only reason why you would use ice arrow is for single target bosses. And if you don't have crazy good attack rating, which I don't really, like, then you're gonna have a hard time hitting the boss. Whereas like freezing arrow is gonna hit every single time. So that is something else to take note of. But you could definitely use ice arrow if you wanted. Like I said, it has a big single target damage, so it's not bad. But anyways, hope you enjoyed this guide. Hopefully you found some things about it, found out some things about it that are helpful. And honestly, I love this build. Let me know how you guys like it. If you guys are gonna build it, what would you change? What would you want to try? And thank you all for being here. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe. It helps me. You're all beasts.